Right now, as you are watching this, your brain is being manipulated. Not by some shadowy government conspiracy, not by a secret society, by something far more powerful and far more mundane. Marketing. And the psychological tricks being used on you are so deeply embedded in your decision-making that you do not even notice them happening. By the end of this video, you will, and you will never shop the same way again. Let us start with the most powerful psychological weapon in any marketer's arsenal. It is called anchoring, and it is devastatingly effective. Here is how it works. Imagine you walk into a clothing store and the first thing you see is a jacket priced at $2,000. You have no intention of buying it. But now, every other jacket in the store, the ones priced at $300, $200, even $150, seems like a bargain by comparison. Your brain has been anchored to that $2,000 price point, and everything else is now evaluated relative to it. Researchers Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky demonstrated this effect in groundbreaking experiments in the 1970s. They showed that even completely random numbers influence subsequent judgments. In one study, they spun a wheel of fortune rigged to land on either 10 or 65, then asked participants to estimate the percentage of African nations in the United Nations. People who saw the wheel land on 65 gave estimates that were dramatically higher than those who saw 10. A completely random, obviously irrelevant number changed their answers. Your brain does not evaluate things in absolute terms. It evaluates them relative to whatever number it saw most recently. And marketers know this intimately. Every original price displayed next to a sale price is anchoring. Every premium option at the top of a menu is anchoring. The $999 phone makes the $700 phone feel reasonable. Then there is the decoy effect, and this one is genuinely sinister. Imagine you are choosing between two magazine subscriptions. Option A is online only for $59. Option B is print and online for $125. Most people choose the cheaper option. But now, add option C, print only, also for $125. Nobody chooses C. It is obviously a bad deal. But its mere presence makes option B suddenly look like an incredible value. You are getting online access for free. The decoy exists only to make the expensive option look good. When researcher Dan Ariely tested this with MIT students, adding the decoy shifted preferences from overwhelmingly choosing the cheap option to overwhelmingly choosing the expensive one. The same two options, the same prices, but a completely different decision because of a third option nobody actually wanted. This trick is everywhere. Software pricing tiers, coffee sizes, hotel room categories. Whenever you see three options and the middle one seems like the sweet spot, ask yourself whether one of those options exists solely to make another one look better. Now let us talk about the scarcity principle, because this one exploits a fear that is wired deep into your evolutionary biology. Limited time offer. Only 3 left in stock. Sale ends tonight. Offer expires at midnight. Your brain interprets scarcity as a signal of value. If something is scarce, it must be desirable. If it is desirable, you might miss out. And the fear of missing out, of losing access to something, is psychologically more powerful than the pleasure of gaining something equivalent. This is called loss aversion, and Kahneman won a Nobel Prize partly for demonstrating it. Losing $20 feels roughly twice as painful as gaining $20 feels good. Marketers exploit this asymmetry constantly. That countdown timer on the website? Designed to trigger loss aversion. The limited edition label? Scarcity signaling. The flash sale that conveniently happens every week? Manufactured urgency. None of these tactics change the actual value of the product. They change how your brain perceives the decision. Social proof is another weapon, and social media has supercharged it beyond anything previous generations experienced. When you see that a product has 10,000 5-star reviews, your brain takes a shortcut. Instead of carefully evaluating the product on its merits, it assumes that 10,000 people cannot all be wrong. This is the bandwagon effect, and it saved our ancestors' lives when following the crowd meant running from the same predator. But in a consumer economy, it means buying things because other people bought them, not because you actually need or even want them. Influencer marketing is social proof weaponized. When someone you admire and trust uses a product, your brain files it as a personal recommendation rather than a paid advertisement, even when the sponsorship is disclosed. Studies show that influencer recommendations activate the same neural pathways as advice from a friend. Your brain literally cannot tell the difference between genuine recommendation and paid promotion at a subconscious level. The endowment effect is perhaps the most subtle manipulation of all. Once you feel ownership over something, you value it more highly. This is why free trials exist. Once you have been using a streaming service for 30 days, canceling it feels like losing something you own, even though you never paid for it. This is why car dealerships encourage test drives. The moment you sit behind the wheel, your brain begins to think of it as your car, and the pain of giving it back motivates you to buy it. And here is the coup de grace. All of these techniques work together, layered on top of each other, reinforced by algorithms that learn your specific psychological vulnerabilities and serve you personalized advertisements designed to exploit exactly the biases you are most susceptible to. Every click, every hover, every purchase teaches the algorithm more about what makes you tick. You are not the customer. You are the product being reverse engineered. But here's the good news. Now you know. And simply knowing about these biases significantly reduces their power over you. When you see a countdown timer, you can pause and ask, do I actually need this? When you see 3 pricing options, you can identify the decoy. When a product says only 2 left, you can recognize manufactured urgency. Knowledge is the antidote. Your brain's shortcuts served you well on the savannah. In the modern marketplace, they are the vulnerability that trillion-dollar industries are built to exploit. But now those tricks are visible to you, and a visible trick loses most of its power. If you want to keep learning the hidden forces that shape your decisions, hit subscribe